What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding, and I'm here just making my breakfast, usually using cream of rice or rice flour. A lot of people don't know the difference, especially in Europe, because in the USA, pretty much everybody who wants to use kind of like a smaller made version of rice for a breakfast meal, they know cream of rice. But here we pretty much know rice flour, or actually that baby product, that also rice flour in the supermarkets for babies to eat. But here I can show you the exact difference. So let me just see. Right there on the left side is the rice flour, and that is the cream of rice. The cream of rice is literally granulated rice, which just means tiny little pieces of the rice. So it's unfiltered like this. This, however, is grinded up rice and then filter out all the hard pieces, and then you get a powder. So this is more of a rice powder, and this is more of a granulated rice with a lot of different tiny little pieces. So that's the main difference. So the flavor and the taste and the macros are pretty much the same. However, the structure and the texture in your mouth, the rice is a little bit more sturdy, if you want to call it, and this is very loose. But if you put water here, this absorbs way more water than this, because it has a lot more surface area to absorb water with. But it has a different kind of texture in the mouth, so I'm gonna make this my breakfast to show you the end result. Alright, let me now show you the ingredients I will put in this bowl, and this is what it looks like. It's a mixture of the rice flour and the cream of rice. Nice and, a sturdy mix. Alright, let's put in first the whey isolate, around 60 grams, right here. 2 more grams, a little more, and let's go. And the kind of whey isolate I use is, of course, the Gladiator Pro by yours truly. BecomeGladiator.com. And then we're going to put in some blueberries and some strawberries. I'm going to put it right here, about 125 grams. Then we're going to mix this up. And I really do recommend using a whisker for this. Makes it a lot easier to mix this up, just like that. And you keep mixing until it's a nice smooth mix of the cream of rice, the rice flour, the fruit, and of course the whey isolate, a vanilla flavor. Look at this, that's a perfect mixture. Now we're going to add the toppings. So the first topping is going to be Calabout chocolate drops. Right here. I have the scale at 0. I'm going to put in about 20 grams all over. And the nice thing is the chocolate will melt because of the temperature of this rice flour. So let's put this away. Then what you do is you remove this from the scale. You put on a peanut butter, and normally I have homemade peanut butter. I'm out of it, so I'm using this natural peanut butter. As you can see, very liquidy. Put your spoon in there. Take about 20 grams out. All right, you wait until it says minus 20. Then you know exactly how much you took. All right, then just put it in the bowl, let it drop nicely all over the place. Perfect. Alright, now you might say that's the end of it, but we still have 2 more additions, and that is in the form of 2 little Easter eggs. These are filled with chocolate. This is dark chocolate, and it's been Easter, and we still have some eggs left, and what is a better place to put it than in your delicious breakfast in the morning? Especially when it's like this, your oatmeal, your cream of rice, your grits, whatever it is, put it in there. If you're bulking, it can't really hurt if you know what your macros are. Put it in here as well, and kaboom! We have a perfect meal. As you can see, it's a perfect mixture of the two rice flour and the cream of rice. We have the chocolate, we have the Easter eggs, we have the fruit, with the peanut butter, and of course the whey isolate, a vanilla flavor. Let's enjoy. And before I forget, I always have a kiwi with me, with the breakfast and usually with the post-workout meal as well, as those are the two biggest meals of the day. And if you keep the skin on, it has extra digestive enzymes, just like they are in a pineapple or a papaya. In a kiwi, there are as well. So it's healthy anyway, a lot of vitamin C, fibers, a lot of other phytonutrients for your health, and also the digestive enzymes for digesting protein more easily. So adding this never hurts. Anyway, time to enjoy this breakfast. So I just got back from the market, and not a very big market as you can see, not very busy. Obviously because of the weird situation going on, not many people go to the market, but I got some stuff here that I want to show you for a way cheaper price than you get it at the grocery store. So if you have access to a market, then make sure to go there. So this is what I got at the market, and it's a pretty amazing amount of supplies. I don't get everything in the market. You can get a lot more there, like bread or cheese or eggs, but I already have enough eggs and stuff at home. But here is what I got. So I have 5 boxes of raspberries, €1 a piece. These are quite expensive in a grocery store, usually, around €2 a piece at least, if not more. These are fresh, but they do go bad quite fast, quite quickly, so you want to freeze them. So I keep 2 of them outside, just in the fridge, 3 of them in the freezer. Here we have some strawberries. This entire package, just €2. You might want to look closely because sometimes there's one in there that's not that good anymore. So if you're at the market, you're free to choose whatever you want. So you always choose the best. And here we have some fresh pineapple. Very interesting that they put it like this. I never saw this in the supermarket. Usually in the supermarket it's like €5 for the inside of a pineapple already cut up. This is about 1.5 pineapples for €2.50 each. So that's amazing. Fresh, and they keep very long in the fridge, as long as you keep them there. Here we have a kilo of blueberries, only for €6. Normally 500 grams in the supermarkets is already €6. As you can see, it's very fresh, very delicious, and very easy to put half of this in the freezer, half of the other in the fridge. Here we have some 500 grams of dark raisins, dark chocolate raisins, made from the same chocolate that I use in my breakfast, the kcal chocolate. Very amazing. I talked to the owner of the particular market stand that sells this, called Oli Note, and these are made from the kcal chocolate chips, which are very high quality. So this is great for a yogurt or just in between for some meals, but it's a very amazing addition to make anything very delicious. Here we have 500 grams of fresh roasted almonds, still hot to the touch, very amazing. And this is 500 grams of freshly roasted cashew nuts. The nuts are probably the more expensive item, but still around 50% cheaper compared to the supermarket. Plus, the flavor, the taste of this is superior compared to anything you can get in the supermarket. Trust me. So if you have access to a market anywhere, try get stuff like this. And by the way, here we have 2 kilograms of green asparagus for €6. Normally you pay that amount for 500 grams. So as you can see, it's high quality as well. So very good buy. Very happy with this. And every single week there's a market here on Wednesday. Always going there to make sure I get quality supplies. Okay guys, time for the second meal of the day. Usually, their most time in between meals is between the breakfast and the second meal, because the breakfast is the biggest meal pretty much of the day. As you can see in the description down below, the amount of calories is quite up there. But let me show you the second meal of the day, around 3 hours later than the breakfast. So let me show you. Alright, so these are all the ingredients. The carbohydrates is the turmeric and ginger rice with some salt in there, prepared in the rice cooker yesterday, just took it out yesterday. Around 120 grams uncooked, translated to about 350 grams cooked rice. Here we have a vacuum sealed codfish with the skin on, about 250 grams right here, in between 250 and 300. And you preserve the fish way longer if you actually vacuum seal it. And normally I would put it in here. Now this is a sous vide machine that cooks anything, in the pan where you put it in there. It changes the temperature exactly to what you put on here. So normally I put like 10 to 20 of these in the same pan, in the same container. This warms them up for an hour and they are all good. But this is still a raw version, because when I have time to cook fresh, I always cook it fresh in the pan. This is the fat source, avocado. Gonna take half an avocado, put it in the rice, of course. And there's also already 10 grams of oil in here, avocado oil. And this is going to be the vegetables. Half of this, I'm just going to steam this bag in the microwave. Take out half and mix it in with the meal. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, now this is the pan. Just put some pan spray in here and some oil to prevent it from sticking. And this is the kind of stuff right now that are little additions to my bulking diet that adds calories, but I don't actually track. So when I'm going to prep, which is going to be in about a week, I take all of this out, because otherwise I would have to track it, and this is just extra fat. But in the off season, these are the little extras I add to my diet to make sure that I do gain quality weight. And of course it's always high quality things I add, like this is avocado oil, in which I will bake this codfish in a minute. As you can see, it's baking away. Always put it on the skin first, crisp up the skin, and then turn it around and finish the cooking process. And I also put some of this salt on there, pretty much the only seasoning you need if you purchase fresh fish. All you need is some extra salt and it tastes amazing. If you use frozen fish, then sometimes some other seasoning could help, like, let's see what I have here, like this, Cajun seasoning for example. Always add seasoning to make your food taste better. It adds health benefits, it adds taste, and it adds consistency of you eating healthy food, because now they taste good. Look at this, guys. This just looks incredible. We have the turmeric rice with the added salt. We have the avocado, about 50 grams. And we have the pumpkin, steamed nicely and softly. And we have the codfish, first baked on the skin, then turned around, and when you bake it properly in a pan, it will flake and fall apart like this. This tastes amazing. If you don't like fish, you will after tasting something like this. Let's enjoy. Okay guys, just walked for about 40 minutes in between meal 2 and 3. This is going to be meal 3, and it was about 2.5 hours in between the two meals, and the meal is pretty much the same as the previous one, except with a minor changes. So let me show you what those are. As you can see, we have some Brussels sprouts, again the same amount of avocado. We have the turmeric and ginger rice, and what I also have is some pineapple. Actually, this is about 150 grams of fresh pineapple, and the difference between fresh and canned pineapple is that this hasn't been heated, so the digestive enzyme called bromelain is still intact, and that's what you need to digest protein like this. Again, another codfish baked on the skin and then turned around to perfection. So let me show you what the total package looks like. Here we go, again, a very flaky codfish, about 250 grams. Again, 350 grams of cooked rice, about 60 grams of avocado, and about 100 grams of Brussels sprouts, with 150 grams of the pineapple to help with digestive properties for the protein. Let's enjoy. Alright, it is the next day, and this is going to be a training day. Yesterday was a rest day, so today, again, I'm starting today with making the rice. Already had my breakfast. I will work out in about an hour, and this is 470 grams of uncooked rice, transformed obviously into cooked rice. And as you can see, you see all kinds of spices. Obviously the yellow color is from turmeric, but I also use these spices. And these are just from pit-pit.com. It's a Dutch website. I think you can order in Belgium as well, but they have all kinds of natural spices you can use, which are blends of spices without the salt, so you can add the salt later. And those are pretty delicious to put in your rice. Every single time you have a different variation, and it just smells absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to put this into these containers, 4 of them, and then head to the gym. Alright, right now I'm driving to the gym, our own gym, which I'm very aware of, that I'm very fortunate to still be able to pretty much do what I've always been doing at the gym. My routine is pretty simple, and it usually revolves around going to the gym, because there's my office as well. I can do my work there, and whenever I say I go to the gym, doesn't mean that I'll necessarily work out, but it does mean I will go to work for Vintage Genetics and clothing of Vintage Genetics, just getting everything up and running to the best of the ability right now because of this weird situation. So yesterday was a rest day, and today will be a back day. And as I mentioned, I will tell you guys what my workout split is very soon. And I'll also be doing a shape update once I get to the gym to show you guys what my off season has been like, the result of it. Now obviously, at the end of an off season, you never look, as good as when you're prepping, even though you weigh a lot more. Right now, I weigh 129 kilograms, and that's around 284 pounds, so it's the heaviest I ever weighed, but the conditioning isn't that bad. When I weighed 127 kilos, which is roughly 2 years ago, when I did, 2.5 years ago, when I did my previous true off season. That was before I won my pro card for at the London Royal Pro. And then I weighed 127 with way worse conditioning, and it took me a long time to get back into shape from that. So this time I will be starting my prep actually this coming Monday, so within a week, and we'll see how fast it goes. Obviously we'll be documenting exactly what I will be doing, and we'll give you shape updates as my prep progresses. And yes, I realize that the Olympia may not be at the date that is stated right now, but we don't know anything yet, so there's no choice, and I won't take the risk of not starting when it might be going on that date. Anyway guys, I'll see you at the gym. Alright, I got done training back a while ago, and I just wanted to show you guys the shape update, as I said in the car, what I look like pretty much after this off season. My heaviest weight ever, 129 kilograms, and I'm going to show you on the scale here how much I weigh right now. Obviously not fasted with clothes on, so it's going to be a little different, but you can see that the weight is pretty much up there. So I really did my best this off season, and even considering the weight, the conditioning isn't horrible. Obviously not anywhere near contest prep or anything, but still It's not horrible, not as horrible as I would have thought if I said at the beginning of the off-season, you're going to weigh 129 kilograms or 284 pounds. You're going to look like this. And then I would not believe it, that I would even achieve that weight within this time frame and look like this. So I'm pretty happy with the results. And within a week, I'm going to start the prep. So let me show you the shape update right now. And keep in mind, my own body and pretty much every single bodybuilder's body improves visually when you're in prep, because then the definition is coming in. You weigh 10 kilograms less, but you look 10 kilograms heavier because of the illusion effect, which is what bodybuilding is all about. But anyway, let me show you some poses. Right side chest. See if I can get closer. Now this is of course the classic version with the, keeping the stomach in. You also have this version, which a lot of people like to use. I personally don't like it, I've tried it. Some people it looks better, but for me it's just going to be the classic version for sure. So yes, let me show you the weight. Alright, walking to the digital scale right now. 0 kilograms. Now I am holding this camera, probably, no, not even 1 kilogram I think. But let's just see what the weight will say. Alright. As you can see, around 131. Just standing on it. Not holding anything except for the camera. So that's just about the weight without a shirt on, with shoes and shorts on. So not fasted, but in the morning it's 129. Okay, the post-workout meal, very simple. We have 150 grams of uncooked rice. It's around 500 grams of cooked rice. We have 200 grams of salmon. I know there's some fat in here, but I looked in the fridge and the freezer and I realized I was out of fish entirely and only the salmon was left, a few packets, so why not? Not usually post-workout nutrition right here because with extra fats, but it's healthy protein. Here we have some pineapple in here, about 150 grams. And I've also been taking these smoothies lately. They all are with no added sugars, just some fruit, vegetables, and let's see, flaxseed, extra vitamins. You have one with spirulina. They all taste really good. Sometimes I take them right with my post-workout meal or in between, right before a meal, for example. Or if I don't eat enough vegetables in a day, I take one of these or a few of these a day. They taste really good. And when you're in the off-season, I like to try stuff like this out every once in a while. And yeah, since it's only going to be a week until the prep starts, stuff like this will all disappear, and the only thing you pretty much have to do when you start prep is get rid of all the things you normally wouldn't eat. And this will be one of them, even though it's quite delicious and quite healthy. Anyway, let's enjoy this post-workout meal. Before ending the video, I want you guys to try out something that we've been developing with the supplement team. So if you can see right there, it's a QR code. We all know what those are, but they can do a lot more than you think, because nowadays you can actually use your phone without the use of a QR scanner app. Let me show you like this. So just take your camera, put it like this, and it automatically wants you to redirect to a web page. And if I click on that, it's going to the becomegladiator.com website. Now for me, it says the Dutch text. So what I want you to do is, of course, if you're not watching this on your mobile phone, try to scan this and see what it says for you. And let me know in the comment section what you see. That will be a great help for sure. So just take your camera, scan this, see if it even redirects you at all, and then click on it and see what it tells you. Alrighty guys, the next videos will be what my workout split is right now, and a Q&A, and the questions are on my community tab on the Vintage Genetics channel. So if you still have a question to ask, make sure to go there now, and I handpick select questions that I think are important for people to know, and all the regular vintage supporters, vintage supporters will be answered regardless. So anyway guys, I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.